6 Hard Truths About Moving into a Nursing Home. What seniors need to know. Growing older comes differently for everyone. For some, it's a time to relax and enjoy life after decades of hard work. But for many, it brings tough choices and challenges, especially when health and independence start to fade. Take Mary, for example. She's 78 years old, living alone in a cozy little house in a quiet Ohio suburb. After her husband passed away a few years ago and her children moved away to build their own lives, the house that was once filled with laughter now feels painfully empty. Everyday tasks are getting harder, her knees ache with every step on the stairs. Her memory isn't as sharp as it used to be, and cooking has become risky with her shaky hands. Her children, worried about her safety, have suggested moving into a nursing home more than once. At first, Mary was completely against the idea. She wanted to hold on to the home she and her husband had built together, the place filled with memories of love and family. But then came the fall. A simple slip in the kitchen landed her in the hospital for a week. And Mary realized she was no longer as safe living alone. After many sleepless nights, she finally agreed to move into a nursing home near her eldest daughter's house. She thought it would be the right decision, a place where she'd be safe, taken care of, and around people her age. But reality turned out to be far from her expectations. Life in the nursing home was a drastic change. Strict schedules dictated her day, and privacy was a luxury she rarely had. The loss of independence weighed heavy on her, and a deep sense of loneliness set in. The vibrant, independent woman she once was now felt like a shadow of herself. Conversations with her children became less frequent, and connections with fellow residents were shallow at best. Mary's story isn't unique. Thousands of seniors across America face similar situations when they decide to move into a nursing home. What's often promised as a caring, supportive environment can, in reality, take away the very things that make life meaningful: independence, dignity, and a sense of purpose. In today's video, we'll talk about 6 hard truths about moving into a nursing home, things seniors need to understand to make informed decisions about their future. This isn't just one person's story, it's a reality that millions of Americans are facing. Join us as we dive into the challenges and uncover the truths that often go unspoken, helping you or your loved ones navigate this important life decision. 1. Losing independence. Moving into a nursing home often comes with the hope of being well cared for and enjoying a more comfortable life. But the reality can feel quite different. One of the toughest adjustments is the loss of independence, something most of us take for granted until it's gone. In a nursing home, your daily life is structured around a fixed schedule. Meal times, wake-up calls, medication rounds, and activities are all predetermined. You might think you'll have the freedom to decide when to eat, go for a walk, or even pick your own meals. But in many facilities, those simple choices are no longer yours to make. It can feel like your days are no longer your own, just hours in a routine planned for efficiency rather than personal preference. This loss of control over the basics of daily living can be frustrating. For someone who's always managed their own life, paid their own bills, made their own decisions, it can feel dehumanizing. Suddenly, asking permission for things you once did freely becomes the new normal. Want to take a walk outside for fresh air? That depends on staff availability. Craving a certain dish for dinner? You'll have to make do with what's on the menu. Even small decisions, like what to wear or when to take a shower, might be dictated by facility rules. Over time, this loss of autonomy can wear down even the most resilient spirits. It's not just about missing out on small pleasures, it's about losing the ability to live life on your own terms. The feeling of being a passive observer in your own life can lead to depression, anxiety, and a sense of hopelessness. For many residents, it feels like they've traded independence for security, but at a higher cost than they ever imagined. This isn't to say that nursing homes are inherently bad. Many offer quality care, safety, and companionship, but it's important to understand the trade-offs. Independence is a fundamental part of who we are, and losing it can be a tough pill to swallow. Recognizing this challenge is the first step in finding ways to regain a sense of control, whether it's through choosing activities you enjoy, advocating for your preferences, or finding moments of self-expression. The reality is, life in a nursing home requires adjustments, some harder than others. But knowing what to expect can make the transition smoother and help you or your loved ones maintain dignity, purpose, and a sense of self in this new chapter of life. 2. Feeling forgotten. When you first move into a nursing home, it often feels like a steady stream of visits and phone calls from family and friends. They want to check in, offer encouragement, and make sure you're settling in comfortably. There's comfort in hearing familiar voices and seeing familiar faces, proof that you're still part of their lives. But as the weeks turn into months, those visits tend to become less frequent. Life gets busy. Children and grandchildren are swept up in the hustle and bustle, work, school, and the endless demands of daily life. The calls don't come as often, and the visits become fewer and farther between. The days start to blur together. You begin to anticipate the holidays, birthdays, and special occasions, hoping for a chance to see everyone gathered together again. But when the day comes, it's not quite the same. Maybe a quick visit, a hurried call, or sometimes just a card in the mail. The joy of those occasions, once filled with laughter, hugs, and heartfelt conversations, now feels distant. Instead of being surrounded by loved ones, you find yourself surrounded by quiet halls and the muffled sounds of other residents. The realization sets in. Life has moved on, and you've been left behind. It's a painful experience, feeling forgotten. There's a deep sense of loneliness that comes with watching the world go on without you. You start to question your importance, wondering if you're still a part of the family or just a distant memory. Even when family does visit, the conversations can feel rushed. The stories you want to share and the moments you want to relive often go unheard. It's hard to shake the feeling that you're no longer a priority, that you've become an afterthought. This sense of isolation can take a toll, not just on your spirit but on your health as well. Studies have shown that social connections are vital for well-being, helping reduce stress, improve mood, and even extend life. When those connections fade, it can feel like a piece of yourself is fading away too. The truth is, family and friends often don't mean to pull away, they simply get caught up in their own lives. But for those living in nursing homes, this distance feels all too real. It's not just about missing out on family events or shared moments, it's the feeling of becoming invisible. The quiet longing for a call, a visit, a reminder that you still matter, that you're still loved. It's a kind of heartache that runs deep. And in those lonely moments, it's easy to wonder, have they forgotten me? 3. Losing the sense of purpose. Before moving into a nursing home, life was filled with small but meaningful routines: watering the plants, making your own breakfast, enjoying a good book in your favorite chair, or handling little chores around the house. These simple tasks brought a sense of independence and fulfillment. They weren't just chores, they were a way to feel useful, to engage with the world, and to keep a sense of control over your own life. Each day felt purposeful, even if it was just the satisfaction of a well-tended garden or the comfort of a home-cooked meal. But life in a nursing home is different. The very things that used to bring meaning to your day are no longer part of your routine. Meals are served on a set schedule. Laundry is done for you, and the plants you once cared for are out of reach. While these changes are meant to make life easier, they can also make it feel empty. When you're no longer needed to tend to daily tasks, it can feel like you've lost a piece of yourself, a part of your identity tied to being capable and self-sufficient. This loss of independence can slowly chip away at your sense of purpose. You may find yourself with long stretches of unoccupied time, sitting idle while staff members handle every detail of your care. It's easy to feel like you're merely existing rather than truly living. The activities provided might not match your interests or passions, leaving you disengaged and unmotivated. Over time, the vibrant person you once were can feel like a distant memory, replaced by a shadow of yourself. Simply passing the hours, the impact on mental health is profound. Without meaningful activities or responsibilities, it's common to feel a deep sense of worthlessness. Many begin to question their value, wondering if they still matter to anyone. This sense of purposelessness can lead to feelings of depression, hopelessness, and a lack of motivation to engage with others or even get out of bed. When each day feels the same, it's hard to find joy or excitement. But it doesn't have to be this way. Even in a nursing home, it's possible to regain a sense of purpose, whether it's through hobbies, volunteering, mentoring younger generations, or simply sharing your wisdom and stories. Staying active in whatever way you can, seeking out new interests, And finding ways to feel needed can bring back that spark. Sometimes, all it takes is a chance to feel useful, a way to contribute, or simply a reason to look forward to tomorrow. Life's meaning doesn't fade just because circumstances change. It can still be found in the smallest acts of kindness, in moments of connection, and in discovering new ways to be yourself. 4. Declining health faster than expected. Before moving into a nursing home, you might have been relatively healthy, able to get around, prepare your own meals, and handle daily tasks. You might have enjoyed a stroll around the yard, watering the garden, or cooking up a favorite dish. Even if it took a little longer than it used to, the effort kept you active and engaged. Those simple activities were more than just routines, they were a way to stay strong, maintain independence, and feel in control of your life. But in a nursing home, things often change, with meals prepared for you, chores taken care of, and assistance readily available. There's no longer a need to perform these everyday tasks. While this support is meant to make life easier, it can unintentionally encourage inactivity. Days can become a cycle of sitting, eating, and resting, with little reason to get up and move. The body, used to being active, now grows weaker. Muscles that were once strong start to atrophy, and joints become stiff from lack of use. Over time, this lack of physical activity can cause significant health problems. Muscle weakness and loss of balance increase the risk of falls, which can lead to serious injuries that take longer to heal. Circulation slows down, raising the likelihood of blood clots and cardiovascular issues. A sedentary lifestyle can also lead to weight gain, joint pain, and decreased mobility. Even the immune system can suffer, making it harder to fight off illness. The emotional impact can be just as damaging. When physical independence fades, feelings of helplessness and frustration can creep in. It's easy to feel like a burden, reliant on others for even the simplest tasks. The loss of independence can take a toll on mental well-being, leading to anxiety, depression, and a sense of hopelessness. The vibrant life you once led can feel like a distant memory as days blend into each other, marked only by mealtime and medication schedules. And while nursing homes are designed to provide support, sometimes that support can unintentionally create dependence. The help that's meant to keep you safe can instead make it too easy to stop trying, too tempting to accept assistance instead of pushing yourself. The mindset of taking it easy can become a habit, gradually stripping away the ability to care for yourself. But it doesn't have to be this way. Even in a nursing home, staying active is possible. Many facilities offer exercise classes, walking groups, and physical therapy. Simple activities like stretching, light strength training, and daily walks can make a huge difference. It's about finding ways to stay engaged and challenge your body. Even if it's just a few minutes a day. Movement is life, and keeping active, no matter how small the effort, can help you hold onto your independence, health, and dignity. 5. Losing privacy and dignity. At home, privacy is something we often take for granted. It's the freedom to close your door, enjoy a quiet moment, and decide how your day unfolds. You can get dressed in peace, use the bathroom without interruption, and choose how much interaction you want. That sense of control brings comfort, independence, and dignity. But in a nursing home, this privacy can quickly become a luxury of the past. Medical staff need to check in regularly, often unannounced, to assist with personal care, administer medications, or respond to emergencies. These visits are necessary to ensure safety, but they can feel intrusive. The routine of being bathed, dressed, or helped to the bathroom by a stranger can be deeply unsettling. What were once private, personal moments are now under the watchful eye of caregivers. And then there's the matter of sharing a room, something many nursing home residents find challenging. When you're used to your own space, adjusting to a roommate can be tough. Differences in habits, sleep schedules, or personality clashes can lead to discomfort. Maybe your roommate is loud or has disruptive behaviors. Even if they're perfectly nice, the simple fact of never being truly alone can feel stifling. These situations can strip away the dignity that comes from handling your own personal needs. When you rely on others for daily tasks you've managed on your own for decades, it can make you feel powerless. You might even feel embarrassed or frustrated, wishing you could do more for yourself. It's a humbling experience that can chip away at confidence and self-worth. Beyond the physical aspects, losing privacy affects the mind and spirit. It can feel like you're no longer seen as an individual with unique needs, preferences, and feelings. The routines and rules of a facility can make you feel more like a patient or a number than a person. When staff members come and go, the turnover can make it hard to form meaningful connections. It's easy to feel isolated, even in a place full of people. And the emotional toll doesn't just affect the resident, it can impact family relationships. 2. When visiting a loved one in a shared space, conversations feel less personal. You can't talk freely or enjoy intimate moments. The setting can be a constant reminder of lost independence and the changes that have come with aging. But privacy and dignity don't have to disappear entirely. Nursing homes can strive to create a respectful environment, one where staff knock before entering. Residents are given as much control as possible, and individual preferences are honored. Simple changes, like scheduling personal time, creating private spaces, and encouraging self-care, can help restore a sense of independence. Feeling seen, heard, and respected isn't a privilege, it's a right. Even in a nursing home, everyone deserves to be treated with dignity and respect, no matter their age or needs. 6. Leaving a nursing home is harder than you think. Many people enter a nursing home believing it's a temporary solution, just until they regain strength or until things settle down at home. The idea of returning to the comfort of their own home is a comforting thought, a light at the end of the tunnel. But the reality is often much more complicated, and the path back home can be full of unexpected obstacles. First, there's the issue of health. Living in a nursing home often means a decline in physical abilities over time. It's not necessarily due to neglect, far from it. The staff works hard to provide care, but the environment can encourage dependency. When daily tasks are handled by others, muscles weaken, coordination slips, and confidence dwindles. What was once a temporary stay becomes more permanent simply because it becomes harder to function independently. Even if your mind stays sharp, a body that's grown reliant on assistance is challenging to rehabilitate. Then, there's the practical side. What happens to your home while you're away? Maybe the house has been sold to cover nursing home costs. Or perhaps it's been sitting vacant, collecting dust and falling into disrepair. Stairs, narrow hallways, or outdated bathrooms suddenly make the idea of returning home unsafe or impractical. The cost of modifying a home for accessibility can be overwhelming, and the thought of maintaining it again feels impossible. Finances are another harsh reality. Nursing home care is expensive, and many residents rely on savings, insurance, or government assistance to afford it. Over time, these resources dwindle, and the idea of returning home becomes financially unrealistic. For those who want to go back, the cost of setting up in-home care or making the house senior-friendly can be a deal-breaker. Even with family support, the financial burden can make leaving nearly impossible. Emotional ties also complicate things. After months or years in a nursing home, bonds form, both with fellow residents and with the staff. The thought of leaving a place that's become familiar, even if not ideal, can be daunting. There's comfort in routine, and starting over, even at home, can be intimidating. For some, the decision isn't theirs to make. Family members may insist on continued care, worried about safety or unable to provide the necessary support. Guilt, fear, and family dynamics all come into play, and it can feel like the choice to leave was never really yours to begin with. The truth is, once the decision to enter a nursing home is made, it can be incredibly challenging to reverse. It's a transition that often feels permanent, even if it wasn't meant to be. That's why it's crucial to understand the long-term implications before making the move and to explore every alternative. If staying home with support is possible, it's worth considering. And if a nursing home truly is the best option, knowing what to expect can make the transition easier. Ultimately, the goal is to feel safe, respected, and valued, wherever you may be. Understanding the full picture of nursing home life can help families make the right choice, one that honors the dignity and independence of their loved ones. Deciding to move into a nursing home is one of the most significant choices a person can make in their later years. And it's not a decision to take lightly. It's easy to think of it as the most convenient option, professional care around the clock. No more worries about household chores, and the promise of safety and support. But as we've explored, the reality of nursing home life often comes with challenges that can impact your sense of independence, dignity, and purpose. Before making such a life-changing decision, It's essential to consider alternatives that allow you to age with dignity and independence. For many, the thought of living alone becomes daunting. But it doesn't always mean a nursing home is the only option. Home care services are more accessible than ever before, with caregivers available to assist with daily activities, medication management, and companionship. This approach allows you to remain in your own home, surrounded by familiar comforts, while still receiving the support you need. Living with or near family members is another option worth exploring. Multi-generational households are becoming more common again, providing a way to stay close to loved ones while sharing daily life. If living together full-time isn't ideal, consider finding housing nearby. Many communities have senior-friendly apartments or neighborhoods designed to help older adults live independently while staying close to family. It's important to plan ahead. Don't wait until a crisis forces your hand. Talk openly with your family. Share your wishes, and understand your options. Research the costs and logistics of in-home care, senior living communities, or independent living facilities. The earlier you prepare, the more control you'll have over your future. If you ultimately decide a nursing home is the right fit, choose carefully. Visit multiple facilities, ask questions, and pay attention to how residents are treated. A caring and supportive environment can make a significant difference in your experience. But remember, it should be a decision made with full awareness of what it means. Not a rushed choice driven by convenience or fear. No matter where you choose to live, your independence, sense of purpose, and dignity matter. Advocate for yourself, seek support, and make the choice that aligns with your values and desires. Life is precious, and you deserve to live it fully, on your terms. Thank you for joining us today. We hope this conversation has shed light on a topic that's often difficult to discuss. Remember, you have options, and your life is yours to shape. Stay informed, stay empowered, and take care of yourself.